Hi there, I'm Johannes, a musician, music theorist and educator, currently preparing a PhD thesis at the Digital and Cognitive Musicology Lab here in Lausanne. Today I would like to introduce you to our Wikibase instance called MuseWiki, talk about the different kinds of musicological research data it will host, and outline your solution for reconciling the complex CIDOC conceptual reference model with Wikibase's user-friendliness. MuseWiki is being developed at the heart of two research projects. Distant listening is led by my supervisor Martin Rohrmeier and computationally evaluates large amounts of harmonic analysis to trace the evolution of musical languages over the course of European history. To do that efficiently, the analysis needs to be linked to the metadata, such as what kind of musical expression was analyzed, of which work was it an expression, and importantly, who created the expression, where and when. The pertinent data on works, people and places is of equal importance for the project on mobility of musicians and musical ideas, which is led by my co-supervisor Markus Neuwirth and our colleague from Université de Lausanne, Michael Piotrowski. This project is retracing how music disseminated geographically throughout European history, with a focus on explicitly modeling the uncertainty that is inherent in all historiographical data. The right column here conveys that every submodule of our data model builds on the CIDOC conceptual reference model. Because if you bring together cultural heritage data with semantic web technologies, such as knowledge graphs, ontologies, and linked open data, well, CIDOC CRM just happens to be the gold standard. It is an abstract model of temporal entities, such as events. Events are linked to their spatial and temporal dimensions, that is, to their places and time spans, as well as to the actors involved. Nothing special so far. What is special about CIDOC is the impressive precision at which it models the relationships between the physical and the conceptual, between the spatio-temporal realm and the world of ideas, norms, practices, imaginations. The distinction is carried out particularly well in the renowned extension Förbru, as exemplified here with the single most important event when dealing with compositions and performances, the expression creation. The model is so abstract in general that it qualifies as an overarching data model for knowledge graphs from all kinds of disciplines, because domain-specific ontologies constructed as extensions of CIDOC and Förbru are perfectly interoperable, alleviating the semantic web's biggest problems. The biggest advantage for a young project such as MuseWiki is that a lot of heavy lifting has already been done. For example, we can build on and map to existing extensions such as Dorémus, developed at the Bibliothèque Nationale de France, and the Performing Arts Ontology, developed at the Swiss Archives of the Performing Arts. The gratification of a conceptually clean data model which captures a large amount of real-world complexity comes, however, at the price of a high entrance threshold and a flat learning curve, which might not be particularly well suited for collaborative data curation. The biggest constraint for user-friendliness might be the sheer number of items to create and manage, even in a simple use case such as the birth of Ludwig van Beethoven's first cello sonata in 1796. Using the music-specific Dorémus extension of CIDOC and Förbru, even this minimal example, which covers the new score, its first edition, and its premiere in Berlin, would result in at least 11 different Wikidata items, without even accounting for the 3 movements it includes. So what we suggest is reducing the number of items to 1 item for the complex work, which you see on the right side, and 1 item for each expression of it, as I will demonstrate. The trick we use is to encode parts of the data model within properties. The property in the first statement, composed by, implies the expression creation event, which is then further qualified by its state and by a link to the item for the created expression, namely the performance plan. Using the same principle, we can catalog the Princeps edition issued at publishing house Artaria in Vienna, with the difference that the created publication expression does not yet have its own item on MuseWiki. Instead, the implied creation event links to an electronic carrier on IMSLP. All good things come in threes. Here comes the same trick applied to the premiere in Berlin, so we end up with 2 to 4 items instead of 11. MuseWiki is still in its pilot phase, and in our experiments, our best friend is the Sparkle query interface that you are probably familiar with from Wikidata, and which most certainly is a driving factor behind the rising success of Wikibase. One of the long-term goals of MuseWiki is to become a collaborative linked data hub for mapping and aligning existing resources such as Wikidata, performance and recording databases, and named authority files, all under the umbrella of the emerging Wikibase ecosystem that will make Sir Tim Berners-Lee proud. The task is huge, and our arms are wide open for collaborations with complementary initiatives, so if you are in the music modeling business too, please do reach out. Big thanks to my colleagues and funders, to everyone who is giving to open source and open science, and to you for listening and watching.